What's up, world? Welcome back to Cancel Thoughts. It's your boy Better Days here. Draymond Green and Austin Rivers have been going back and forth over the last week to week and a half or so. And guys, I am here for it. I'm usually not somebody who is with like men, grown ass men at that, going back and forth on the internet. But when it comes to this particular situation, guys, I am here for it. Just some background before we get into these couple of clips that I have to show you guys, though. Draymond Green, who is a NBA future Hall of Famer or whatever, made some controversial comments about how his also Hall of Fame head coach Steve Kerr somehow held him back in his career. And a lot of people in the NBA or people who just know basketball in general looked at those comments and were like, shut the fuck up. Austin Rivers in particular was asked a question about it on another show or whatever, and he pretty much said what we all were kind of thinking, and Draymond took exception to it and took offense or whatever, and he started making videos or whatever. So that's the first clip that I'm about to show you guys before I show you guys Austin Rivers' reaction to it. Before I get into it though, guys, if I by the end of this video earn you guys a subscription, do me a solid and like the video and subscribe to the channel. It only takes a couple of seconds and it helps out more than you guys realize. That being said, let's get right into it.
Austin Rivers received the biggest bailout in NBA history, in world history, in U.S. history. Received the biggest bailout in U.S. history when his dad gave him $42 million. And I tip my hat to Doc. I pray that one day, it won't be $42 million then because NBA has gone up so much. But I pray that I can give DJ $200 million or give Deuce $250 million. I pray that I can do that one day. So I tip my hat to Doc and his incredible bailout of his son.
I completely disagree with what Draymond Green said, that you would have a point if Doc had gave him like 100 or 115, $120 million, okay? Austin Rivers at no point in his career in the NBA was he a star player, okay? He was a very, very solid, serviceable role player. He could give you buckets off the bench, and that was his role. $42 million, while it's a lot of money to average people like me, and I pray to one day see $42 million, when it comes to the NBA and the amount of money that those guys were making at that time, $42 million is par for the course for a guy like Austin Rivers and where his role was in the NBA. The fact that his dad was the GM and kind of running basketball operations at that time during the Clippers, yes, that's added like fuel to the fire or whatever, and you could put that in the story because his dad was the guy at the negotiating table with him, so there was a conflict of interest there. But when it comes to the amount that he actually got,
I've seen worse.
Austin Rivers deserved all the money that he got. It wasn't like he got some absurd amount of money like some of the guys in the NBA right now are making. So you don't necessarily have a point there. And to me, Draymond more than anybody should understand that the intangibles of a basketball player are more valuable than a lot of people who are outside of basketball or have never played basketball should. Because a lot of people would say that Draymond has made too much money in his career for the things that he does on the court because he's not a stats guy. He's never been a superstar basketball player. Yes, I get it. He's won like a defensive player of the year here and there or whatever, but he's not necessarily somebody who plays like a sexy brand of basketball. So for someone to like Draymond to say that somebody else didn't deserve the amount of money that they made, people could also kind of make that argument about you. But I don't even want to necessarily harp too much on Draymond. I want to just show you guys that before I show you guys Austin Rivers' response, because this is where it actually gets really, really juicy, because Austin Rivers, I feel like, just went in on Draymond Green.
Come on, Draymond. This is ridiculous. Seriously. Ridiculous. But you know what? I'm going to address it because you crossed the line and you are mad disrespectful for whatever reason. You've been around too long. We both were drafted in the same class. The fact that you don't have the wherewithal to do your due diligence and actually understand I was being highly complimentary of you on the Dan Patrick Show, but it's you, and I shouldn't be surprised. You always act irrationally, emotionally immature, and your anger always puts you in hot water. So here I am having to address a video of you belittling my career. First off, Draymond, we weren't the same players in high school. I don't care about our numbers being similar. I did it at the national level, the top level. Hence why I got the Naismith Award, and I got pretty much every award you can think of in high school. I was ranked #1. You were ranked, I don't know. So cut it out. Next. College, you actually were a really good college basketball player, but it's hard to compare because I was only there for 6 months, something you could never do. Talk about I was, one of the featured guys. No, I was the guy. I led my team in scoring. I was first team All ACC, freshman player of the year, lottery pick. Stop. Next.
All facts, by the way, okay? These are things that you could go look up. Austin Rivers is speaking complete 100% facts here. He was the Naismith Player of the Year in high school. I remember because I was also kind of pursuing basketball, and I had hoop dreams right around that time. So Austin Rivers was, I think he was older than me by a couple of years, but he was one of the top players in the country. He was like top 2 or whatever. So he's speaking 100% facts so far.
NBA, hey, man, you got it, Dre. I mean, listen, I played in the NBA for more than 10 years, more than a decade, but 11 years, but I'm not a Hall of Famer like you. So I'll give you that credit. All right, you got it. But let's peel back that onion and understand why. Easy, Tiger. Okay? You have the delusion, the non-wherethal, the irony of you saying I'm part of the biggest bailout in NBA history. Draymond, you were the luckiest basketball player I think I've ever seen, especially in modern day history. Let's talk about that. You were drafted to a franchise with the Hall of Fame front office, Bob Myers, Hall of Fame coach, Steve Kerr, the greatest shooter of all time, and perhaps the top 5 player of all time, Steph Curry.
Top 10, not top 5. Sorry, Steph Curry is greatest shooter ever, but top 10. We could say he's top 10. But again, Austin is not lying here, okay? He's not lying. We're going to let him continue here, but I haven't heard him say a single fallacious statement yet.
Hall of Famer. One of the greatest shooters, top 5 shooter of all time, another Hall of Famer, Klay Thompson. The Swiss Army knife himself, the guy who could do a little bit of everything on the floor, Andre Iguodala, another Hall of Famer. I know, keep up. It's a lot of talent. Not to mention one of the most lethal scorers of all time and arguably a top 10 player of all time, Kevin Durant, the same guy you chased off because of this, your mouth. You talk too much.
Kevin Durant's top 20. The only thing I disagree with so far is the rankings that he has out here. But again, not saying anything fallacious. He's speaking straight facts. These are all teammates of Draymond Green, and these are all guys who pretty much got the attention of the other team's defense, and Draymond was allowed to show his offense. If he was so great offensively, he would have been able to display those offensive gifts so easily because you had teammates like Steph Curry, like Klay Thompson, like Kevin Durant. This would have been very, very tailor-made for you to show us how good an offensive player you were if you were so good and you were being held back or whatever.
And that's not even counting the plethora of talent around those guys. The Sean Livingstons, the Barbosas, the Andrew Wiggins, the Jordan Pooles, who you also chased off. Cut it out. Draymond, you're the backpack jump shooter. You're the guy that everyone leaves open. No one guards you. There are hours and hours and hours of film of just you being left wide open. In fact, anybody can just YouTube or Google or watch any Draymond game ever, and he's open all game. There are clips of you getting a rebound and just driving in a straight line and just getting a wide open layup because everyone's fanning out to guard the actual talent on the team. Talk about Steve Kerr hindered your career. Bro, Steve Kerr made your career. How dare you? Coming at me? Are you kidding me? I wish I could give my son $200 million if I was a coach. Yo, the NBA doesn't give coaching jobs to guys who may or may not sucker punch one of the players and staff. You need to fall back, Dre. Let's just be friendly. Me.
The one thing you can't say is that Austin Rivers was lying. He wasn't lying whatsoever. Those were your teammates. Would you be a Hall of Famer without those guys?
Absolutely fucking not.
Let's just be 100% honest here. You're the defensive player of the year. Your talents were allowed to be magnified because you had the presence of those guys on your team. People like Charles Barkley, they had to be the guy on their team. You make fun of Charles Barkley all the time now because he doesn't have a ring, but you wouldn't have a ring without Kevin Durant or Steph Curry or Klay Thompson. You wouldn't have a ring. Let's just be 100% honest about it. And there's the argument that, oh, well, you don't necessarily know how his career would have turned out. Draymond has had ample opportunity while Steph Curry's been injured or Klay Thompson's been gone or Kevin Durant's been out to show us the talent that he's talking about has been kind of held back. Okay, when Steph Curry doesn't play, Draymond Green is out there with a lot of nobodies. And Steph Curry was injured, for most of this most recent NBA season. Draymond Green was still averaging, single digits? Like, it's just not your skill set. It's not an attack on you or your game to just speak facts. Draymond is a great intangibles guy, okay? He brings things to the game that cannot be measured on a stat sheet, and everybody understands it, and everybody in Golden State understands it. You don't have to prove to us that you could have done whatever the hell in your career, because it just wasn't something that was your strength, okay? Your strengths were being a point forward, being a Swiss Army knife defender. You were great passing the ball. Your basketball IQ was higher than probably almost anybody in the NBA outside of like a few players. But outside of that, stop it. Stop attacking people like Austin Rivers for speaking facts, okay? Oh, he didn't deserve his $42 million. Come on, Draymond. Really? Like, nobody who watched this, like, back and forth or whatever is sitting there on your side going, Draymond Green is 100% correct. No, it's not like Austin was coming out of nowhere and attacking you. He was asked a question and he answered the question honestly. You can take offense to whatever you want to take offense to, but he's not lying whatsoever. And I think a lot of people on the internet, especially because I kind of saw First Take the other day, they agree with Austin. They agree with Austin. You wouldn't be a Hall of Famer without Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, and Klay Thompson, and guys like Jordan Poole who helped you guys win a championship. You chased those guys away. That's just a fact. You have cost the Golden State Warriors a lot more than some people would say you're worth. And I'm not necessarily saying that because I understand the value that you brought to that team. You were the guy who came in for David Lee when David Lee had gotten hurt, and you guys were propelled to a level that David Lee wouldn't have allowed you guys to be propelled to because he needed the ball in his hands to actually score points. But the minute that they inserted you into that lineup, you were special with Klay Thompson and Steph Curry. But you're not special without those guys. Let's just keep it a buck here, okay? It's not an insult for people to point that out, especially when they're asked a question. But I'm going to leave it there, guys. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys thought about this. And if you're a basketball fan, do you agree with Draymond Green or do you agree with Austin Rivers? As always, I want to thank you guys for joining me on this video. You guys could have been anywhere else in the world, but you chose to be here with me, and I really do appreciate you.
If you liked what you heard today, do me a solid and like the video, share the video, and subscribe if you haven't already. Those things really do help out the channel a lot, guys. And if you didn't like what you heard, thanks for allowing me to occupy your time. Consider leaving a comment in the comments down below letting me know exactly what it was that you disagreed with, and maybe we could talk about it. Either way, I appreciate each and every one of you guys for pressing play on this video, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.